So we'll wait for some time, do we?
Yes, Maharaj, we'll wait.
Right. So we have around 10 people online.
I think some more folks might be joining in. Classes get over usually at 5.
Oh, classes get over at 5 o'clock. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
That's the time now also, no, we can.
Sorry?
Now also classes get over at 5, no?
It depends actually. Our class it got over on 4:20. Some classes are there, but it's very rare, which ends at 5:20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. So what will be our schedule for this event? So we have first any chanting. Do you do any chanting?
Maharaj, first of all, we plan to show a video presentation of about the Vivekananda Youth Circle, IIEST Shibpur, to all of us present here. Then we will move into your lecture, and then any question and answer, if means a question answer session, and then some students performance we will be having.
So
and after that,
what is students
we will be having formal. Some of us will recite a poem on Swamiji.
Okay, great. Okay. Very
and after that, we will have formal discussion among ourselves so that we can know ourselves better in this online mode.
Very fine. So I will speak for about half an hour, and then I will be present for some time. But then by 6 or so, I shall take leave. Is that okay? Huh?
Sure, Maharaj, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So everything has got good and bad side. So we are very grateful to Corona in one side that we are all able to, quickly get connected with each other through online mode.
Yes, Maharaj. And the locality also does not matter anymore.
No more geographical boundaries.
Yeah.
Just quickly pass through. So here I am sitting 1,000 kilometers from your place. I'm in Kanpur.
Students are also, I think, spread across the country. Not all of them are in the campus.
Okay. So
actually, here we have students also from outside India.
Okay, very fine. But in our group, we don't know how many will join today. So you have given notice to all in general?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
So let's see how things unfold. This has always been an issue when we were, as some of you will come to know. So I was with the Vivekananda Study Circle in IIT Madras for about 12 years. So this used to be one issue. How do we connect to the newcomers? So it has always been so everywhere. So we did several things. I'll share with you what we did. I'll share with you.
Yes, Maharaj, I think we can get started now. We have a sizable audience now.
All right.
Palas, you can start.
Okay. So, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So, welcome everyone to the freshest introduction of VYC IIST Shibpur. I am Palas from second year undergraduate civil engineering of IIST Shibpur. And I again welcome all of you in this introduction program. Today we have Swami Atmashraddhananda as our guest lecturer in this induction program. And I would like to thank you, Maharaj, to accept our invitation and come in our induction program. So let's start with the video presentation of VYC about us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes, Dada.
Okay, thank you. The Vivekananda Youth Circle, known as VYC, was established in 1984 at the then BE College. It is a voluntary, non-political and non-sectarian student organization of this institution. The members meet regularly every week in a study circle, undertake different social activities and organize lectures, seminars, etc. Over the years, VYC is providing excellent opportunities to those youths of the institution who are striving to work, think and build their character on the ideals of Swami Vivekananda.
Our main activities include weekly sessions by the members of VYC, where we study and discuss the teachings of Swami Vivekananda in live lectures on character building, lectures by monks of Ramakrishna order, and other eminent personalities on several topics. Maintaining a library of books on Swami Vivekananda, Vedanta, personality development, and etc. Service-oriented activities such as granting scholarships, free coaching classes for the needy and meritorious students, providing relief during calamity, service to extremely poor tribal areas, etc.
Uddog, a newly taken initiative by the members of Vivekananda Youth Circle of IIEST Shibpur, provides free quality educational classes to the high school students. In this pandemic time, it has helped many school-going students to continue his and her study throughout the India. Uddog is successful to help economically weaker students in the academics from Bengali, English and Hindi medium by providing notes and regular assignments, tests and quizzes.
Swami Vivekananda to youth. Knowledge can only be got in one way, the way of experience. There is no other way to know.
All the powers in the universe are already ours. It is we who have put our hands before our eyes and cry that it is dark.
What India wants is a new electric fire to stir up a fresh vigor in the national veins. Be brave, man dies but once.
Anything that makes you weak, physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject as poison.
After joining into this club, I got the opportunity to connect with various Swamijis of Ramakrishna Mission Order. They taught us about various aspects of life and life management. The weekly sessions along with the special session helped me a lot to stay focused and motivated throughout my life. I came to know about the 4 yogas and the ideas of Vedanta by Swami Vivekananda in his special lecture. He also told us about how to apply them in daily life. Swami Vivekananda also told us about the lessons from Swamijis, and Swami Amritananda guided us on effective life management and many more.
Namaskar. As a devotee of Swamiji, I decided to join Vivekananda Youth Circle. The weekly sessions motivated motivate me a lot to do my responsibilities both as a student and a future engineer. Thank you.
Namaskar. After joining VYC and by watching the interactively weekly sessions of Prabhuji Maharaj, that gives the lessons of spirituality, meditations, life perspective, as well as the lessons of Bhagavad Gita, which keeps me motivated a lot. And it is also giving me the opportunity by Uddog to help the needy section of our society during pandemic by interacting and teaching with them, which gives me immense pleasure, which actually can't be expressed by word at all. Thank you.
प्रणाम टू ऑल। संगत कीजय साधु की निष्फल कभी न होए, लोहा पारस परसते सो भी कंचन होए। इस दोहे का अर्थ है कि सच्चे और साधु लोगों की संगति कभी भी व्यर्थ नहीं जाती। जैसे लोहा पारस की संगति में आकर वो भी सोना बन जाता है। The VYC played a very similar role to me. The environment of VYC is very good and the weekly sessions taken by the Swamijis of Ramakrishna Mission are very interactive and helpful. It helps in understanding the Bhagavad Gita and the works of Swami Vivekananda.
Okay, it was a very nice presentation from our side. Now I'd like to introduce Maharaj again in this session, and then he will begin with his lecture. So Swami Atmashraddhananda ji joined Ramakrishna Mission Order in 1989 and was oriented as a monk in 1999. He is a former editor of Vedanta Kesti, English monthly publication published from a Sri Ramakrishna Math, Mayapur. He has edited, authored, and translated a couple of books on education and Indian culture and teaching of Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, etc. He was a spiritual mentor of Vivekananda Study Circle, IIT Madras, for 12 years and presently conducts weekly meditation classes for Vivekananda Samiti, IIT Kanpur. He is the secretary of Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama, IIT Kanpur, since October 2018. Now, I would request Maharaj to deliver his valuable speech to us. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear. Thank you to Vishnu also and all the young people, young minds who are tuned. Thank you for your introduction and for your invitation. I shall begin by chanting a Sanskrit pranama mantra to Swami Vivekananda. Then we shall have this session. So this pranama mantra was written by one of the brother disciples, as you know, Guru Bhais of Swami Vivekananda. His name was Swami Ramakrishnananda, different from Sri Ramakrishna. He lived a good part of his life in Calcutta and then around 14 years in what we call as Chennai today, and passed away in 1912. Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. My namaste to everyone. We are here this evening to spend some time to dwell upon a kind of introduction to Vivekananda Youth Circle at Shibpur, and in general to the importance of studying Swami Vivekananda's teachings. When you are in college, what do you gain by that? what are the various benefits that you get by getting associated with a study circle like this. So as I speak to you, I will also refer to my own experience in this regard. So I've been introduced. So I have been a monk. I've been in the monastic life for over 32 years now. So much before I joined, which means around 3.5 decades back too, I was connected with a youth group. So where we used to have occasional classes, which was of a great help in understanding life, in understanding how to take decisions in life. And later on, I was a good part in Mysore, where we have a residential school, which again was quite helpful in interacting with the young mind. So, of course, the students stay there on the campus. They're all from class 8 to class 12 students. So that was also a good opportunity to get interaction with them, and also how they receive these higher ideas and what are their needs. And further again, about 12 years when I was in Chennai, we have in Chennai a very old ashram is there, which Swami Ramakrishnananda started. It is more than 100 and plus years, maybe 124 years or 25 years. So there we have this magazine, Vedanta Kesari. So Vedanta Kesari is also a 100-year-old magazine. So it's a weekly. You can download the magazine actually online also. It's there on our Ramakrishna Math, Mailapur, Chennai website also. So it is part of my responsibility there. I started going to the IIT Madras in 2004. That was my first visit to that place. I got introduced to the study circle there. To begin with, how did the study circle start? It's a very interesting story. Here I find in Shibpur, by the way, I have been to the Shibpur college once, around 4.5 years ago. I think one Mukhopadhyay sir was there, Rajesh Mukhopadhyay, he took me there. And the study circle in IIT Madras started through the initiative of the director of IIT. In those days, there was one Professor Dr. VYC Swami. He's no more. 2 years back, he passed away. So Dr. Swami was a very exceptional person. He himself had read Swamiji's teachings very well and used to occasionally conduct a course on Swami Vivekananda's teachings on Saturday evenings or Friday evenings. And it used to be a non-credit course, so you won't get any marks for it. But it will be flowing with Swami Vivekananda's ideas, and around 40 to 50 students used to regularly attend his class. Then, as you know, in 1985, the government of India declared Swami Vivekananda's birthday as National Youth Day. So since then, it is being celebrated. So there was one such occasion. This is celebrated in various educational institutions across the country. This time, of course, it's done on a slightly bit larger scale. So in our IIT Madras also, it started with that celebration. And in 1997, in month of October, it took the shape of a study circle. And somehow the Ramakrishna mission got associated with it. And now it's continuing in last 25 years plus. We have had so many students who passed out from there. So many of them have become professors themselves, or they are teaching elsewhere, not in IIT, but elsewhere. So it has been a great journey. And I will tell you very interestingly, some of them on their own, inspired by their own samskaras, have joined the Ramakrishna mission as monks also. This is just an information that around, I think, 8 or 9 of them in last 25 years. So that is also my interaction with them. That was weekly once we used to have a class. I used to travel from the mutt to the ashrama to the IIT. And our 1 hour program or 1.5 hour program used to be on a Sunday morning, for which we will prepare a kind of, there used to be, the module was like this. First we'll have the chanting of 3-4 Vedic mantras. And for that we had printed sheets we'll give to all students. They will all join together. So like Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, like that, with meaning. Meaning I will read out. After this chanting, we will have guided meditation for about 10 to 15 minutes, followed by reading a page or two from the letters of Swami Vivekananda. So since the letters contained many contemporary references, which unless you have read the life of Swami Vivekananda, his biography, you may not understand. So I would spend some time explaining what's what. So that used to take around 10 to 15 minutes. And then that would be subject of the day. For instance, we'll have the subject time management, or the idea of God in Vedanta, or personality development, or concentration of mind, or meditation itself. We'll have a small lecture on that. So any of these subjects, we used to sit together and decide these lectures beforehand. And then around half an hour, 40 minutes lecture, followed by question and answers. And that would be the end of the class. So that was to be attended by, on average, 25 to 30 people, including some of the faculty members. So that was a great experience for me also. And later, when I was in Belur Mutt for about 2 years, I was associated with IIT Kharagpur also. 2 years or a year and a half. Once a week, once in a month, I would travel and have a similar thing, but it's not as organized as it is in Madras. And here in IIT Kanpur, there is a very old Samiti. It is running for last 52 years. It's called Vivekananda Samiti. Swami Sarvapriyananji, about whom one of the speakers in the film referred to, he almost began his public speaking in a big way from the Samiti's platform. Now, of course, Swamiji is quite well known across the youth, which is a very good thing that people listen to Vedanta, and Maharaj is able to give them what they require. Of course, he's coming to Delhi, to India next month. I think on 8th or so, there is a youth convention in IIT, in Ashrama, in Delhi Ashrama also. Then he goes to Belur Mutt and stays for some days before returning to New York. So that's just to give you an idea how I was associated with the study circle and how it has been a great experience for me. And here I am speaking to you from, I'm in Kanpur near Lucknow. We have a very old ashram here. So I have been here for the last 4 years. Now coming to the subject of how do we connect to Swami Vivekananda, and what benefits do you get as you get connected? There is no end to visitors or queries which and like me, many more monks or any other similarly situated person seem to get from many young people these days. And they have a query. Oh, I'm facing problems in life. Problem with concentration, problem with getting along with others, problem of restlessness of mind. There's a problem of depression, very widely spread. Unfortunately, some of them, they can't control their emotions and negative thinking, and some of them take to medication also, which is not a very good thing, but then there is no other way. They have to do it for some time. That's okay. So these all people, when they come, when we interact with them, It's not that we interact only with these people. There are others who are not having any of these problems. They just are keen seekers as to understand what is the purpose of human life. One thing that becomes very clear in all these interactions is that there is a need for a direction. There's a need for guidance. So if you don't provide guidance, misguidance will come. Let's make it very sure. If you give guidance, fine. If you don't give guidance, misguidance will come. Because man will somehow cannot be situated only in one place. He wants to grow and he wants to get rid of his problems. For instance, you see, in many of these institutions of higher learning, in various places, there's a problem of drug addiction. So drug addiction, why do people start taking drugs? Or why do they start taking any intoxicants? Basically because they are not able to get the kind of joy and the kind of inner peace which they are looking for in outside things. Or could be that life situations are very heavy on them. They say, how do we come out of this pain, this stress? So let me relax myself by taking these things. First they relax themselves and then they are caught by those things. First you catch the addiction, then the addiction catches you. You find helplessly not able to come out of it. So we must learn how to balance our life so as to not to seek some escape routes like this. These are all escape routes. So we need to understand what is the goal of human life and what is the right path to reach that. This you will find in Swami Vivekananda's teachings in plenty. I will just refer to some aspects of his teachings. Of course, there are other teachers, other people across, but somehow my understanding is that no one is as authentic and deep as Swamiji is. And so very healthy way of understanding life. Sometimes people get caught in things which are very strangely, they look like they are very spiritual, but they're not really. They are some kind of glorification of ego or glorification of some aspect of the lower self, as we call it. Well, I'm not going into analysis of that. I'm not competent to that. But I'm only saying that Swamiji's words are of a great help. I'll tell you a small incident which is possibly some of you know. Way back, I was just recently reading Netaji's unfinished autobiography. In that, he mentions when he was 15-year-old, and he was born and grew up in Cuttack in Orissa. He was 15 years when, as a youth, he wanted to solve many of the issues in life. He was not finding any way out. And he happened to go to the house of his uncle, some neighbor. And as he was waiting for his uncle to come or to meet him, his eyes fell upon the collection of books which was there in that room. It was a bookshelf with some books. As it happens, you start looking at what is this book. So he was a very curious man. So he found there a book of Swami Vivekananda. As far as I could understand, it was Swami Vivekananda's lectures from Colombo to Almora. It's a wonderful book containing Swamiji's Indian lectures, which he gave in 1897. Anyway, so he says that I looked at that book and I opened it. And I saw one page and one paragraph. Oh, this is what I wanted. That feeling came in him. Then he took the second page. Oh, this is what I was waiting for. What a way of putting it. Then his uncle came and saw, what is it that he says? I'm reading this book. Can I borrow it for some time? Uncle was very kind enough. He said, yes, you take. Then after reading, he returned to me. So he took the book and he says he read that book for more than a year. As such, the book would not have taken for a brilliant mind like him to finish within a week or so. But he took nearly a year pondering over what he's reading, Swamiji's teachings. Swamiji's teachings about what is the future of India, what is the plan he had for India, what is the past of India. Swamiji had a remarkable understanding. So that book has all that. These are all recordings of his lectures, jotting down. So that he says in his book, young Netaji says that transformed my whole life, my whole thinking, and I owe a lot to Vivekananda for this. So he had never met Swamiji in person, but he had met Swamiji at the level of thoughts, at the level of ideas. So this is what Swamiji's ideas do. When they enter into our life, they bring enormous change. You possibly know the story of Anna Hazare. I'm not going to the politics of Anna Hazare, and later on, he himself confessed that it was not a right decision for me to enter that way. That's all. Leave it. What I'm saying is that how his life changed. Perhaps you know this incident. He was in the army in 1972, Indo-Pak war. He was in the battlefield, and there were before him many people died. His own Jawan colleagues, those who are soldiers, they died, and he was driving a truck. Somehow he said, "I escaped that," and he was so disgusted. He came from a village which was infested with all kinds of drinking and gambling and debauchery. He was not at all happy about it. And this side he says, "My friends are dying. What's the purpose of life?" So he actually thought of committing suicide, but also said, "Let me go home." So he came, took the train and came up to Delhi. He must have been on the Punjab border somewhere. And at Delhi railway station, he found a little book. Swami Vivekananda is Called to the Nation. You know, this book, Called to the Nation, has got the Hindi thing called Rashtra Ko Ahwan. Swami Vivekananda, Rashtra Ko Ahwan. And he started reading it as he was traveling back to his house. That little reading, he says, actually what I'm saying, narrating is mentioned in one of the articles of Reader's Digest. So he says, that book totally transformed me. And he went back and in his own way, he started experimenting how he can put in. One thing that he found that Swami Vivekananda's words, that I think it is Swamiji's letter written to the Raja of Mysore, where Swamiji says, "Young prince, the vanities of life are transient. They alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive." A wonderful statement. Vanities of life, all these vanities, you see. You want to wear branded clothes, you want to have branded watch, and these days a very expensive mobile. I'm not against all this. If you feel that this is what's going to give you happiness, please have it. Then you will slowly discover basic necessities are very few. Then we go on adding because others are there to clap hands for it. And then we say we need that. So somehow that meaning comes into our life. Well, so this vanities of life are transient. They're just for some time, temporary. They alone live, which means they alone live a meaningful life, a purposeful life, who live for others, which means they are living an unselfish life, not a very self-centered life. And the rest are more dead than alive. The rest, those who are not living this kind of life, they are just like, they are although alive, but they are more dead than alive. Because being alive means certain things, certain characteristics are there. So this is what happens when you read Swami Vivekananda's works. I'm just giving you two instances. Let's understand what do we gain when we read Swamiji. First thing which you will immediately gain when you read Swamiji is his message of strength. Strength of body, strength of mind, strength of character. And he teaches it through his conversations, through his lectures, through his letters, and through his own life. He had such a short life of 39 and a half. But in the 39 and a half, in last 9 years, I remember one of the professors in IIT mentioning it. How can a human being achieve so much in just 9 years? last 9 years of his life was full of preaching this way and going around how he went to America single-handed, how he had to face, we may not understand today, because today you just take a visa and go to America. But that was not so. 100 years back, when we were under the British colonial rulers, it was going there was a big thing, and that to a monk, because Swamiji was wearing gerua, he was wearing that ochre cloth. In some places, he was hooted. People tried to pull in, and he was insulted in many places. There were many forces against him there. What a power. Good cognition we must have. And just not that, he had such a remarkable golden heart, which means feeling for others he had. And he said, may I be born again and again to worship the only God that I believe in, and which is the poor and the downtrodden of all races and of all nations. What a heart for others, feeling for them. You find this in Swami Vivekananda's personality. So the first thing that you get is strength. I think we need strength very much. Today, very often you find people who are into the word of, let's say, science and digital technology and all that. Many of them, after some time, they find that what's the purpose of life? In India, for instance, there are people who have killing themselves. It's a very high rate in India. Every 1 or 2 hours, somebody dies. Why does it happen? Because we are not able to face life. So on one side, you are an engineer, or somebody is a doctor, or somebody is a chartered accountant, and he faces life, a difficult situation in life, a very hard circumstance, a painful circumstance, and he cannot solve it. So he says, since I can't solve it, I remove myself from the scene. Is that the way of solving the problem? So Swamiji said, have faith in yourself. Try to solve it. Try to face life. Don't run away from life. It could be anything. For somebody, speaking in English could be facing life. For somebody giving a lecture, maybe facing a life. Somebody solving mathematical equation. Or somebody he's struggling with his some habit. That could be his kind of thing. He's trying to solve life. We should solve this. We need to develop strength to overcome all our issues. So this is one message that you will get when you read Swamiji's works in detail. Second thing you find in Swamiji is, as I just referred to, the emphasis Swamiji lays on developing a pure and controlled mind. How to develop concentration of mind. So this is very important, and today it has become all the more important because of the digital distractions. People are, while talking to you, they just don't look at you. They are busy with their mobile and also talking to you, which is, of course, these days called it's a kind of a disrespect for somebody and not paying attention. The modern days greatest. Earlier there were the different products for sale. Today, attention is the main thing. How the digital technology wants to catch your attention. They want to draw your attention in so many ways. So we have to learn to focus our attention in the right way. We have to learn how not to get carried away by the digital technology. Of course, it is like a great friend or it can be a great enemy, both ways. Many people say it is more of an enemy than of a friend, actually. It's enemy because it distracts you so much. It makes you so restless. Every little while you want to check what's the WhatsApp message. Or I want to just go around and see what's there in the latest in the YouTube. But that makes you very restless. It doesn't allow you to be focused for a very long time. Same restlessness gets shifted to when you take up a subject for serious study. You find, how I am able to, I'm not able to, every now and then my mind is getting distracted. So I'm not able to understand. Swami Vivekananda used to say that concentration of mind is the only source of acquisition of knowledge. So if that only source is disturbed, how will we gather knowledge? So this is one thing which Swamiji teaches us, how to keep the mind pure, how to keep the mind well concentrated. This is the second thing that you will get. First is strength, and second is how to develop concentration. And for that, of course, Swamiji speaks of the yogas, the 4 yogas. Third thing Swamiji will find, as we are speaking about meaning of life and reaching what's the purpose of life. So he gives the idea of unselfish living as the goal of life. He calls it as Atmano Mokshartham. Now let's understand this. What does Swamiji say? He says we have various goals in life. Say now somebody is in the 10th standard. He thinks that going to 12th standard and getting good marks, that's the goal in life. And once he's in 12th standard, he thinks going into a particular stream, that's the goal of life. And once he is into that, okay, let me finish my engineering. So that's the goal of life. And little later, now I must get a good job and a good package. So that's the goal of life. And then once he gets a package, starts working, it should be challenging. And then promotion is the goal of life. Then you get promoted, then you want to set up a family, you want to marry and have a family situation. Very few will be there who don't want to go into that. As I mentioned, that some of them take to monastic life, but that's a very 0.1% people. Most of them go into that. That's okay. So he goes into that. Then as he's aging, now he thinks retirement is the goal of life. He says, let me now retire. Enough of work. I have worked very hard. Now I am nearing 60. So where was the goal of life? So let's understand, these are not bad. They are required. They kind of are steps to make us more mature. A sense of achievement, a sense of contribution in life will come. What did you attain in life? You never went to college. You never attained some excellence in your studies. This is thing. It hurts you if you hear like that. So these are all like they are the milestones in life. As you have, suppose I am here in Kanpur. From here I am going towards Delhi, which is 400 plus kilometers from here. So after 100 kilometers or 50 kilometers, I see a milestone on the roadside. It says Delhi, another 350 kilometers. Or I have crossed 50 kilometers from Kanpur to that point. Then sometimes I see another milestone. So all these are milestones in life. They're not the goal of life. I hope I have made myself clear. They're not the goal of life. The goal of human life is self-knowledge or self-realization. These are only milestones. You are proceeding towards that through various steps. Atmano mokshartham. For your own inner freedom. Because once you have got self-knowledge, you will become free. Free not in the political sense, free not in the financial sense, but free in the spiritual sense, the moral sense. And that's the real deeper freedom that we all want. Second thing in life, we must understand the goal in life should also be connected with what's going to happen after I die. There's also a factor. So people think, why do you ask all these questions? Why do you mention even that? No, we must know that. Because suddenly meaning in life becomes an issue when a person has got a serious disease. So what will happen after I die? Will I leave some mark behind? Yes, to begin with, it's a good thing. To begin with, it's a very good thing that you do something which you will be remembered for. It's known as, in a lighter sense, it is known as the immortality project. So you have written a book, people will remember you. You have built a building, or you have done something which will be remembered. To begin with, it's a good goal in life, not a bad thing. But we must go even one step ahead. In Swami Vivekananda's Karma Yoga book, it's a small little book, Karma Yoga. It's around some 8 lectures, some 130 or 50 pages are there. In that, Swamiji analyzes these various motives of life. He says some people want fame, some want a name, some want beauty, some want power. That's their goal of life. But as we progress, we really discover the goal of life is when we rise above our ego, rise above our selfishness. So it's a journey that starts from a very selfish standpoint, and then little by little we grow. So, and this is not just a philosophy. Acha, today I am teaching this. Okay, it's my philosophy. It's going to change after I grow up. No, this is an eternal philosophy of life. We call it Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana Satya. So all this you'll find in Swamiji's teachings. And fourthly is Swamiji's that love for India. Sister Nivedita, the great disciple of Swamiji, used to say, when Swami Vivekananda would utter the word India, it will be as if all his emotions, all his admiration, all his joy will get concentrated in that little word, India. So, what is that love for India? You will see Swamiji's teachings. When Mahatma Gandhi once happened to visit Belur Math, it's very close to Shibpur. There, Swamiji, he visited Swamiji's room also. And somebody said, Gandhiji, I've come to Belur Math. Will you say something? He said, no, I have not come here to say something. I have come to learn something. And he made a point there. He said, I have read I have gone through Swami Vivekananda's teachings very thoroughly. And I find that what love I had for India became 1,000-fold after reading Swami Vivekananda's works. So that is the kind of love which Swamiji conveys through his teachings. So as you go through, you see how he has the kind of courage to criticize India. Swamiji had the courage to say this is what is wrong with us. But it's not a negative kind of a criticism. It's a positive criticism. It is like a mother scolding the child. She doesn't want to harm the child. She only wants the child to grow, to overcome his weaknesses. So in that sense, Swamiji sometimes spoke that way, but he counted the greatness of India in so many ways. He presented us, as we go through it, in a very mentioned here and there. Swamiji's Karma Yoga lectures you will find, his Raj Yoga lectures, then lectures from Colombo to Almora, or his Jnana Yoga lectures. So Swamiji's volumes are in 9 volumes, Swamiji's works. And they call complete works of Swami Vivekananda. Taking up the whole complete works is not very advisable to begin with. Begin with a small little book. Just a small little book. I have before me a little book. I'll show you. This is called Swami Vivekananda is Called to the Nation. You can begin with this. It's sufficient. It's just a small book of nearly 112 pages. You may need another 5 years to digest it, minimum. So I have been reading this for last number of years. I find it every time something fresh in that. So you read this and then put it in your pocket, and again you read it somewhere, because you have so many assignments to complete and all that. You may not find all the time, okay, now I'm going to read Vivekananda's books. It's little impractical. So let us begin with small little books. Keep them with you and keep reading them. So these are a few things I thought I'll share with you. I'm sure you will get engaged with the study circle, the Vivekananda Youth Center at Shibpur, and we'll have occasion to interact in future also. We will discuss maybe some of the questions that you might have. Now we can take them up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your enlightening lecture. And now I request all of you here present to ask any kind of question to Maharaj. You can ask in the chat box, or you can ask by unmuting your mic. Or if anyone is watching in YouTube, they can put question in the live chat.
Yes, it takes time to frame some questions. I'm sure some people will have some.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, myself Prinsu Kumar from Electrical Department. So my question is, I am always wondering what is the life purpose of the life. So, and you tell about what is the self-realization. Okay, so I'm not understanding what is the purpose of the life. You tell that every time we're changing our goal, and that is not our goal. That is the milestone.
Yes.
So I'm not getting what is the purpose of the life. Science give us answer that what is life, but can't give answer why life.
Yes, that's true. You are right. So let us examine ourselves. Let us examine our life. What are we searching for in life? So when I use the word self, so what is the meaning of self? Does the self mean, everybody uses the word ego, मैं हूँ, I am, ami achi, I am. Is this the self? You analyze it, you open up the various coverings on the self, you'll find this is not really your self. Because it's a changing self. So what is that which is unchanging in you? You were a child and you had a self, and now you are a youth, you have a self, which is different from, in some way you are not, now I am a grown-up child, I was a little baby, I used to do all this. And then when you become old, again you have a self there. So what is that self which is present in all these different stages of life? What is the nature of that self? So this nature of the self is examined and is brought to us by, say, Upanishads and Swami Vivekananda and Bhagavad Gita. They said nature of the self is that it is full of joy, full of fulfillment, full of knowledge. We call it in Sanskrit as Sat Chit Ananda, Satchidananda. So it is full of, Sat means existence, fulfillment. It's not going to, that it is there today and tomorrow it will not be there. It is and it is. Not that it was not there or it will not be there. It is, and it is always there. So it means a sense of immortality is there. What is that self in us? And you have the idea of joy in us. We all want joy. We want happiness. Suppose a person was to say that, no, you can have anything that you wish to have. There's no joy will be given to you. You will not want to have that. We are searching for joy in different levels of our life. So they say all these different joys that we are discussing, sensory joys, or the joys which we get because we feel our ego is very satisfied. So no, you should go deeper. You will find that you have the joy that you're searching for is within you. That is the meaning of self. So when we say self-realization, it means that you have all these characteristics. There is existence, there is joy, and there is knowledge. Sat Chit Ananda. That is the very nature of the self. It's a very profound question. I'll not be able to answer you completely in one go, but I'm just trying to direct your attention towards that. So you take up Swami Vivekananda's Jnana Yoga lectures. You will find that he explains this idea of self further. And this idea that that is a goal of life, the self-realization. He puts it very in a systematic, logical way. One more thing, when we are saying that there is self-realization, the goal of life, so what should we do now? All right, done. That's the goal of life. That may be philosophically very enchanting, but what should we do now? we should live our life in such a way that we are able to, make our activities, our thoughts, our planning in such a way that slowly we are able to calm the mind, purify the mind, and purify the mind means it is free from anger and greed and jealousy. And once that is done, we will be able to discover that eternal source of peace and joy, which is self, which is what it is within us. So let's begin with that. We'll begin by reading Swami Vivekananda's Jnana Yoga to gain more understanding of that.
Okay,
Yes.
Swamiji, I got it.
Okay.
So many questions come in the chat box.
Please,
So can Maharaj, I will put it to you.
please read them.
Yeah, someone asked, is there any life after death?
Okay. According to Vedanta, according to the Indian tradition of rishis, yes, there is a life after death. Because there is a life before life. Life before birth, so there is a life after death also. But
Yes,
what is
ma'am.
the meaning? What is that life after death? So it is said like this, that Swami Vivekananda's one lecture is also there, life after death. So he has, you have to come to the idea of self again. So what we believe in is that we had a previous existence, then our present existence. We call it a Pichla Janma, Purva Janma. And then we have come to the present Janma. We have certain life. And because we have, why we are born actually? Again, goes through a deeper into a philosophical query. Why are we born? They say we are born because we have desires. But when before that, where was that? When I didn't have any desire, you were not born. So because you have a desire, that's called. So why did I have desire? By the way, I have desire because I do not feel I am complete. So what's a desire? Desire means incompleteness. I need something to fulfill. So I'm lacking, let's say, food. So I have desire for food because I have a body. I need. Could a situation be there when I am complete? I don't have body. It's not death. It is something beyond death. So I am not this body also, and I am completely free from all these negativities. What we, our desires produce various negativities also. And so first it is called avidya, ignorance of my completeness, kama, from which desire is born. Then karma, action. Karma will give karma phala. What is karma phala? There are certain rewards and certain punishments, certain accomplishments, certain losses, certain success, certain frustrations. That's karma. It's all about karma. And what we are doing, it will come back to us. That's karma. And then this karma we have to experience. That's called karma phala experience. But this life may not be sufficient. I will die before my experiencing. So I'll be reborn. And how long will this continue? Oh, in the process of rebirth, I may actually gather in more desires and more actions and more things. So somewhere if I have to stop this, then I must learn to purify the mind, make it detached. Until then, I will have to experience it. So there is a life after death. Where do I go there? So this is where science has no answer. So we have to accept what the scriptures, our Hindu scriptures, tell us in our conversation, where they say that we after the when the prana, when the vital force leaves the body, the essential spirit in us, if we still have all the desires and their karmas, Holy Mother Sarada Devi used to say, if you have even the desire, even for eating a rasagulla, you will be reborn. Be careful. Rasagulla also can give you a rebirth. In today's word, a pizza also can give you a rebirth. So you have it. But then, point is, do you want rebirth? Or do you want to be free? Suppose I have desires, I'm born, I die. So what will happen to me? I'll be born again. They say I might go to Swarga also. I might go to heaven. But heaven is a temporary place. I may stay there for 100 years or maybe 1,000 years. Again, I'll come back to the earth. Kshine punye martya loke vishanti. The Bhagavad Gita says this. Once my punya is over, my visa is over. I have to come back to the earth. And what do I do there? I again try to be born as human being and be able to try to do sadhana, to free my mind from all these negativities and desires. And then I will attain that freedom, which means after death, no more birth. So think over it.
Yes, Maharaj. Our next question is, how good can meditation help us in self-control? How good can meditation help us in self-control?
Okay, how meditation can help us. So, first of all, there are so many traditions of meditation these days. They are basically all are sitting in every meditation. One thing is very clear: that person is externally inactive. Externally is inactive. He's sitting quiet. He is not making any change in his posture constantly, or moving his hands or opening his eyes. No, he's sitting quietly with closed eyes, as we see in the pictures of Lord Buddha or Swami Vivekananda. So in meditation, when we regularly sit for meditation, at that time we are calming the mind at least for 15 minutes. At least we are not engaging with various things. Actually, you must learn meditation in a right royal way to really benefit from it. So whatever you begin with, that will strengthen your mental muscles. In 15 minutes, you are cut off from the sensory perceptions. You can say I'm cut off from the digital world also. For 15 minutes, no more attending to any calls or any messages or nothing of that. So that will strengthen the mind, and you will be able to focus your attention with that strengthened mind. See, focusing requires strength. So we'll be able to calm the mind by repeated practice. But meditation is not like a pill suddenly you take and everything will become calm and beautiful. No, it has to be done repeatedly. It's just like food. Food has to be taken repeatedly to be benefited by it. It's not that once I have taken food, I took it 2 days back and I'm quite strong now. You can't say that. So similarly, we have to do meditation repeatedly, but learn the meditation in a right royal way, which means try to make it as a practice and learn the right way. We are at our Vivekananda Samiti trying to make a small module on 15 minutes meditation for the students. Hopefully, we'll upload it very soon on our IIT website, IIEST Samiti website. So I'll let you know once it is done. But before that, let us remember meditation is a great help. It's a great help. Sitting quietly, thinking of some divine object, some divine subject. You can also think of, listen to some lecture and then close your mind, close your eyes and try to meditate. Take some ideas, think deeply. Or you can repeat God's name as you meditate, as you close your eyes. All that helps to calm the mind.
Then we come to our last question, that how to stop overthinking.
This is a serious thing.
And I'd like to share one thing, that we will have our meditation session in our club also. And it will be offline, then we will have our meditation session.
Great, that will be nice. So as to overthinking, in overthinking, what I find is that it is just like overspeeding. When you have overspeeding of a car, there will be some accident. So we need not control everything in life. There was a student I remember, he was to appear in IIEST exam and he was very tensed up. So I asked him, why are you so tensed up? He said, see, I want to my exam is on this date, and I have gone and seen the place where I have to go and write the exam. And so I have calculated how much time it will take to go to that place, and I've kept the pens ready, how many pens I require, 3 pens I require, and I've kept the water bottle I'll take with me. Everything I've made ready. But suppose suddenly these 3 pens do not work. Suddenly there is an accident on the road, or that I am too much, feeling thirsty, 1 bottle will not be sufficient. I said, that's the case of overthinking and overcautiousness. And he was not getting sleep at night. So there are certain things we can control in life. Certain things we need not control because they are beyond us. This is what in the Gita is said. As much as possible, you control things, which means you order things in such a way that I can do this. Too much of calculation will not reveal everything. It's just like, suppose you say, no, for everything I will like to have logic. Everything should have a logic. Yes, logic is wonderful. But logic also doesn't have a place in many things. For instance, emotions, their logics will not work. So I remember one elderly gentleman once pointed out this. He said, if you have too much of logic in your life, it's just like having a sword with no handle. You can't handle it. So there should be a certain part of your life and there is no logic. Which, for instance, you go to your mother and say, mother, you are my mother. You explain to me how you are my mother. Explain to me logically. What is this? She's your mother. That's it. There ends the matter. Don't question further. So there are certain things we need not bother. And there are certain things we should bother. Where we should have faith and we should have reason, a proper balancing. And as we do it, let us leave something to God and something to some divine power. We need not bother our head to change the whole world. Let us first begin by changing ourselves, and let us try to be within a small understanding of how I can change myself, where I am making mistakes. Let me do that. I want to lead the whole world without leading myself. What is this? Let me lead myself first. I get up on time. I have my control over my senses. I have control of my anger. And all these things let me do. Then I can lead somebody else meaningfully. So first let me lead myself, then I can lead others. So let us try to leave something to a divine power, to X factor. In the Gita 18th chapter, it is said, Daivatra Panchamam. Leave it to some divine power. Need not think about that.
Okay, Maharaj. So, due to an internet issue, Palas had left. So, I think here we can end our question and answer session. And this is just the introduction session to all of the juniors present here. Later, we will definitely have more sessions with Maharaj, and we will be grateful if Maharaj also joins with us on special sessions to deliver his speeches, uh, to deliver the messages of Swamiji in a more simplified way to us, to encourage us, because this is the time which is in our youth uh, time, which is required that some kind of motivation. And as Maharaj has already mentioned that some drug addictions and like some wrong way students go, it's they don't understand that what to be done, what is to be done, what is correct or wrong. So in this case, this sessions, this weekly sessions and others which we conduct from Vivekananda Youth Circle, this plays a great role. So you all are welcome to this institution and as well as our Vivekananda Youth Circle. Now I would request Shatabratap to continue his poem about Swamiji. Hello.
Yes, Vaya, I am just connecting.
Okay.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, audible and visible. Okay.
First of all, I would like to say pranam to Swamiji and all of my juniors. स्वामी जी, मैं हिंदी में बोल सकता हूँ ना?
हाँ, अवश्य बोलिए, आपका स्वागत है।
जी, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलकर, और भी बहुत सारे जो है वो स्वामी जी से जो है वो हम लोग की जो है वो साप्ताहिक जो है वो 1 घंटे की ऐसे ही सेशन होते रहती है, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है। और आज जो है वो हमारे जूनियर्स आए हैं, तो उनके लिए जो है वो एक कविता जो है वो मैं प्रस्तुत करना चाहूँगा स्पेशली, कि जिसका शीर्षक है तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। जिन लोगों को नहीं पता है कि स्वामी विवेकानंद का जो है वो बचपन का नाम नरेंद्र था, तो कविता जो है मैं आरंभ करना चाहूँगा। दुनिया को मानवता का पाठ पढ़ाया, जीवन को जो कर्तव्यनिष्ठ बनाया, सच और तपस्या के मार्ग से जब डिगा नहीं, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। विश्व को सच बतलाने, हिंदुत्व के मायने बतलाने, कर्म ही एकमात्र सत्य है, यह सुनाने 7 समंदर लांघ गया, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। गुरु को परम बना, गुरु के वचनों को पत्थर की लकीर माना, भारत भ्रमण को सच कर दिखाया, मन की व्याकुलता को वह जीत पाया, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। ज्ञान का दीपक जलाने को, प्रकाश जग में फैलाने को, गौरवशाली इतिहास बताने को, केसरिया साफा पहन के अपना परचम लहराया, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। युवा तन युवा मन का संदेश दिया, तरुण भारत जिसने लक्ष्य साध लिया, अनुशासन और समर्पण पर बल दिया, प्रगतिशील विचारों वाला वह महामानव, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। शारीरिक महत्ता पर जिसका जोर रहा, ज्ञान का जिस पर अनुपम गठजोर रहा, यही संदेश जब उसने भारत को सुनाया, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। शिकागो की धर्म सभा में जीने का मार्ग सुझाया, जीवन के हर पहलू में अध्यात्म का मतलब समझाया, भारत की गौरवशाली छाती पर कांटे भी पुष्प बन जाते हैं, उस पावन भूमि पर धर्म और संस्कार जहाँ की जड़ों में बसता है, मृत्यु के खेल समझकर बालक भी जहाँ हंसता है, लाखों वर्ष की गाथा जिसने सुनाया, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। युवा का उल्टा वायु है, वेग को जो एक साथ सधा वो साधु है, उम्र जिसकी बड़ी नहीं वो जो दीर्घायु है, हर पल जिसने जिया वही चिरायु है, सच से अच्छा कोई नहीं, जिसने ना स्वीकारा वो सच्चा नहीं, साबित कर जिसने दिखलाया, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। जीवन है वह जो रुका नहीं, मानव है वह जो झुका नहीं, टूट गई सिलाएं कई मुसीबतों से जो टूटा नहीं, ऐसे मनुष्य को जो यह मंत्र दे पाया, तब वही नरेंद्र विवेकानंद बन पाया। धन्यवाद।
बहुत अच्छा, थैंक यू सत्या प्रताप। सो आफ्टर दिस हम अभी फॉर्मल इंट्रोडक्शन एंड फॉर्मल सेशन में घुस रहे हैं।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू महाराज, प्रणाम।
नमस्ते।
थैंक यू महाराज, प्रणाम महाराज।
थैंक यू महाराज, प्रणाम।
Thank you.
All of you are welcome to Kanpur whenever you come to Kanpur.
Yes, Maharaj, and you are also welcome to Vivekananda Youth Circle, IIEST Shibpur. Yes, Maharaj, we will definitely meet.
Very fine. Okay, namaste.
Thank you. So, all of you are requested to turn your video on, and because we are going to have a formal discussion session among ourselves, so it would be very nice to have interaction with you with turning your videos on. So I can see some of the videos are on. Satya Pratap joined from 2 IDs. Palas left due to a heavy storm in his area, and I can see some faces only. Subhajit, Chandraswami, Arnab, Kartikeya, Sanchari, Shantanu, Udayan, Arnab, Shubham, Shubhajit, Shaumik, Jayanto, Chandraswami, Arindam, Okay, so let me first introduce myself. Some of you know myself and some of you don't know. Myself, Avikan Maiti, from 4th year Electrical Engineering Department, IIEST Shibpur, and currently as an acting General Secretary of Vivekananda Youth Circle, IIEST Shibpur. So this Vivekananda Youth Circle, its journey is long back. It started its journey with a motto of man making, character making, and nation building, like that. So it is officially included in a club of our institution, though we can't take it like a club, like other club of our institution, because it's not a place to some kind of coming together and eating and then going. It's the place to enrich ourselves also, and get some kind of entertainment also through that enriches us, because I personally felt that after each Wednesdays weekly sessions, I feel a lot motivated uh, after the Wednesday, and that helps me in my academics and other personal life also. As most of you have seen the introduction video of VYC, there it is. Some of our juniors have told that how it has helped them. And first of all, how many juniors here uh, who are boys? Uh, raise your hands.
Yeah, boys.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can make your hands down. And how many are here who are girls here from first years? Navonita. And any other else? Okay. So in online mode, we have planned to have merged session with both boys and girls. But it started with a motto of man building and character building. So we will be having a separate session which is coming, because institute is nearly going to reopen, and the exact date no one knows, but it's more likely to have offline classes and offline mode. So there, in offline mode, the open sessions which we conduct, the special sessions, those are going to be held everyone, but we have separate discussion sessions. The weekly sessions are the discussion sessions where we discuss we read a book, a special book, like Samiji told, Call to the Nation book, like several books I have. Maybe I will see if I have those books. Yeah, I have some books like Personality Development, Samiji's Great Sayings, The Struggle for Freedom, like those books I have. So all of you are requested to start with a very simple book to know Swamiji, how it helps in your life. Like in our weekly session, we have covered 2-3 books like Personality Development, Salvation and Service, and Karma Yoga is going on. So after you will join from next week, you are invited to join the weekly sessions, and you are also officially allowed to join us. So one of our Maharaj will be taking a new book, and he is very much enthusiastic that first years will join. So he has prepared a new book and suggesting us that how well he can deliver his speech. And we were lucky enough that in online we were getting Maharaj every week, because in offline we didn't get Maharaj even once per month, because it's hard to come Maharaj in campus to, out of his busy schedule. So you will get more such. Also, out of that, you will get some special sessions where we have Maharaj from Melbourne, throughout the world. Like Maharaj mentions Swami Vivekananda from New York. He will be coming here in India, and many other Maharaj introduction, Maharaj sessions you will get. Also, in offline, we have some in some tour or visit to holy places such as the birthplace of Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna Thakur, the birthplace of Swamiji, the birthplace of Sri Shima, and also Belur Math, the Kinesar. Those are the places. So we plan those in offline. That's also our activity. Also the activity is one of the activity that inspired from this VYC students started a new initiative, Uddog. Their students teach the 9 to 12 standard students, means our students, the volunteers from our college from first year, second year, third year and fourth year. They teach the students, so there also you can join and have a chance to get to do social service activities even in this online mode. So everyone, I think in the VYC group, Vivekananda Youth Circle Freshers group. So if no one is here, anyone in this meeting is not included in the VYC group, is requested to join the group. Or you can tell here that I am not in the group. You can raise the hand. First of all, please raise the hand who are not in VYC Freshers group. Anyone here? Arindam and Ajit. Pratik, do you know them?
Yes, sir. I know them. I will add them.
Okay, you please add them. Anyone else? Okay. So, how many? I was talking also about the girls. How many girls here? Nabanita and any other girls here? Please raise your hands.
Sudeshna
girls.
Sudeshna.
Sudeshna Bashak and Nabanita Shashmal. Okay. So, computer science and means architecture or whatever else. So, no, doesn't matter. So, separate session for girls will also be continuing, and you are welcome in those sessions. There, the Matajis from several reputed Sarada Mart and other organizations will come to deliver these speeches, and you have a great chance to continue to start a new journey of girls session. 3, 4 or more than that seniors are also there to help you, and after that like we continue our weekly sessions, you will also continue your weekly sessions, which is a closed circle where you discuss, and in those that closed circle only boys and girls will be separated. But in the open sessions like this one is an open session, and any other open sessions which also happens in offline mode also, there everyone joins, and no restriction of any boys or girls. It is done only because when you are discussing some deep concept of Swamiji, deep concept of Sister Nivedita, deep concept of Thakur, deep concept of Shri Sharadama, you should have only your close circle where you can discuss freely. That's why this is made, and also not to distract you from any other things like any other clubs. So that's why it's also meant. You are also welcome there. And any other thing else I left Sata Pratap or Subhajit to tell them.
No, we
Karthik
are.
is also there.
It's enough. Firstly, just join them. Then after.
Yeah, so Pratik will add them in the group, and after that, we'll be sharing the weekly sessions link, and there also you are all requested to join with your Jisoo IDs. And after that, you tell that how you have joined, how you have enjoyed this session, enjoyed what you have gained, like that. Now, anyone or two from the juniors are requested to tell his or her point of view, that what she or he thinks about this today's session and the future of Vivekananda Youth Circle, because it depends on your hand. You are the future of VYC.
Please come up. Do not sigh.
Anyone? Yeah. If you don't unmute, then we have to take the names.
Bhaiya, I think it's a very big thing for them to tell about the future of the USC. Just ask them what encouraged them, or what, which motive has encouraged them to join. Yeah. I guess that's the point that they are getting scared to talk that. Just okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking that what's your point of view about VYC or joining VYC and that. Okay, so
Myself, Arinda Mondal from
Thank
Information
you.
Technology Department. I previously very interested in Vivekananda. I often read the books of Swami Vivekananda, and that's why I am very interested in this club, and that's why I wish to join here. And I also want to join the next sessions. Thank you.
Okay, it will be great to join. Especially, I would like to.
So, hello everyone.
Yeah, continue, please.
हेलो एवरीवन, माई सेल्फ प्रिंस कुमार फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रिकल डिपार्टमेंट. सो मैं हिंदी में बोल सकता हूँ क्या?
हाँ, हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं.
ठीक. सो मतलब विवेकानंद के लाइफ से काफ़ी चीज़ें जुड़ी पड़ी है. सो इंस्पिरेशन काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. और जैसा कि आज सेशन में स्वामी जी ने डिस्कस किया लाइफ को लेके, सेल्फ रियलाइजेशंस को लेकर. सो एक्सपेक्टेशंस तो काफ़ी है कि जैसे जैसे ग्रुप या जो सेशन है या क्लब है आगे बढ़ेगा, तो उस हिसाब से हमारे में इम्प्रूवमेंट तो आएगा. और सेशन काफ़ी अमेजिंग था आज का, जो गुरु जी ने, स्वामी जी ने जो बताया.
Yeah. Also, along with the weekly sessions, you will get a chance, like I told, to have your social service activities also. In offline, we used to go some places, some tribal areas, to help the poor, to help the needy people, and also you will get a chance in online mode in doing several activities such as streaming videos, video editing. Those skills are also required. Those who are interested in those extracurricular activities, those are also welcome here. And please spread those messages in your friend circle, so that we get you in well touch of you. And there were two ladies. Is there here? I think no. Two girls were here. Are you here? Anyone? Navonita is here, and another was left anyhow. Hi, Navonita. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you find inspiration to join this Vivekananda Youth Circle or join the sessions of this? If you can unmute and also turn your camera on.
Can I turn my camera off?
Okay, if you have issue, no.
Actually, I suffering for my
Okay.
low data. Sure.
Okay.
Actually, when I studied in HS, actually class 12, then that time I also joined in Swami Vivekananda Jhamapuku Ramakrishna Sangha in Kolkata, and from there I went Gadadhar Ashram, Swamiji's Bari, Sri Mayer Bari, and many other places. That's why I joined in this group for connecting Vivekananda's banis and stories. And this is too much inspired me. Thank you.
Thank you. We will be delighted to see you in the next sessions, next programs of Vivekananda Youth Circle. First of all, we are very sad that due to institute restriction, we were unable to have any kind of meeting within ourselves till 31st of January. And after that, the seniors that we had some exams, like competitive exams of all India level. You may have heard of CATE and IIEST, those. And after that, you also had the mid-sem. So now we thought this will be the best time to have this Vivekananda Youth Circle introduction. So to all of you, you are again heartily welcomed. And if you want to share any of your thoughts with us in this meeting, you are welcome. You please turn your camera and mic on. If you have problem with your camera, then turn your mic on and go on.
Hello everyone, I am Shomik Barua from Architecture Department. I am from my childhood I was very much interested in the philosophy and ethics of the Indian culture, especially Vedanta, and I think these sessions will help me to explore more depth about Vedanta. So that's why I joined this society. So I am very much thankful to you all.
Thank you.
Hello, Bhaiya.
So, yeah.
Hello, Bhaiya. Myself Shubham Sinha from Department of Civil Engineering. Yes, Bhaiya. I follow Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So I saw, and Prabhuji also tell that he also implements put some of the learning from there to this group also. So I want to learn that only and also explore this cloud.
Okay, wonderful to know this from you. And anyone from our VYC like Subhajit or Satapradap wants to tell something to them?
अभी तो मतलब ये लोग का भी 1.5 घंटा हो गया है, तो बस आने दीजिए ये लोग को, और अभी तो हैं ही कॉलेज में। आप लोग जितने भी जूनियर हैं, तो आप लोग सीनियर में ऐसा नहीं समझिएगा कि यहाँ पे हम लोग कुछ ऐसा मतलब सर ऐसा वैसा फीलिंग। तो आप लोग जब भी मन करे मैसेज कर सकते हैं, व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज कर सकते हैं, कॉल कर सकते हैं, कोई भी डाउट हो तो पूछ सकते हैं। और वीकली सेशन जरूर ज्वाइन कीजिएगा, आपको उससे जरूर फायदा होगा।
लाइक छत्रपति जो बोला, वीकली सेशन ऑब्वियसली ज्वाइन करना, बिकॉज वो सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए बहुत मतलब प्रॉफिट है। और वो हम लोग अटेंडेंस भी मार्क करते हैं, ये भी सोचते हैं ऑफिशियल आईडी से ज्वाइन करना ठीक है, और मे बी रेगुलरिटी कंसिस्टेंसी रहना ठीक है, वो तो बहुत अच्छा होगा। कंसिस्टेंसी रहेगा तो आपका भी बहुत लाभ होगा। और इसके अलावा हम लोग बहुत फ्रेंडली नेचर के हैं, इधर रैगिंग वगैरह उससे मतलब नहीं होता, कुछ सब मतलब फ्रेंडली है ठीक है। तो कॉल करना, मैसेज करना, जो भी मतलब तकलीफ हो, प्रॉब्लम हो तो कॉल कर सकते हैं। एनीथिंग you'd like to Satrabata?
हाँ, और जो है वो कुछ लोगों को मतलब अगर शक होगा कि बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ हेक्टिक होगा, तो वैसा कुछ नहीं होता है। सप्ताह में एक घंटा निकालना कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, और वेडनेसडे के दिन जो है वो 7 बजे से 8 बजे होता है, तो आप लोग ज़रूर निकालेंगे 1 घंटा, यही उम्मीद है। जैसा अटेंडेंस यहाँ पे देखने को मिल रहा है, लगभग 25-30 आदमी जो है वो स्टार्टिंग में ज्वाइन थे, तो ऐसे ही रेशियो में आने का कोशिश करें और अपने दोस्तों को भी बताएं। जब भी ग्रुप में मीन्स जब भी सेशन चले तो उसका लिंक जरूर एक बार शेयर कर दिया कीजिए, और जो भी आपके घनिष्ठ मित्र हैं तो उनसे भी संपर्क करने की कोशिश कीजिएगा और उन्हें भी कन्विंस कीजिएगा आने के लिए।
तो जैसे प्रतीक को तो हम समझ मतलब पहचानते ही है, बहुत एक्टिव है फर्स्ट ईयर से ही। तो प्रतीक, यू वांट टू से समथिंग इन दिस occasion?
Or anyone of you feeling uncomfortable with the English language, then they can also use their mother language or whatever language they use.
हाँ,
Bengali, Hindi,
बंगाली, इंग्लिश, हिंदी अलाउड, बाकी समझ नहीं आएगा।
नाम बोल।
प्रतीक, आर यू देयर?
Yes, Dada.
You want to say something?
Everything has been informed. I don't want to add anything special. I just want to request everyone present here to join these sessions consistently. That is the thing.
Okay, Kartikeya left. Kartikeya, anything you want to share? Any thought?
Most of the things were shared by Satya Pratap and Subhajit Munivaya. And guys, there will be special sessions also, like you have seen in the video that Swami Vivekananda, the Vedanta Society of New York, and some Swamijis of other places also. Like we have session from the Swamiji of the IIT Madras Society, and also from the Vedanta Society of Melbourne, and many they will be teaching us on the many very good topics. So it's not only attending the weekly sessions, it also very benefiting for you to attend the sessions, the special sessions, which will be, I think, nearly once in a month. It's better to attend that too. It will be very beneficial one. Try to be regular and try to be free also. You can also contact any seniors, and if you find anything faulty, or if you want to say any suggestions or something else, if you want to give any suggestions to modify or something else, you can. We are always welcome to hear that. There's nothing like the senior superiority or wagging something else. Every suggestion and every line from you are happily welcomed here.
Yes, this is different from all other clubs or societies in this sense. Like everything is important in life, but self gain is the most important. To those people who know it. So you may think that maybe singing or dancing is important to you. Yeah, for extracurricular activities it is important. But the thing, like all of you have passed class 10 plus 2 standard. So the simple battery circuit, that is the battery connected and a bulb glowing through connected to it. So what is happening when you are doing some activities, the bulb is glowing. Okay, so the battery is constant, and after certain week or certain days, the battery charge goes down. So then you have to again recharge your battery, and that work does this VYC. So if you constantly drain your energy out, then you have to also gain it. So like people think that okay, I will go to see a movie and or go with friends and then do that. That's not a wrong thing, but it's like a thing. First of all, you catch it, then they catch you. It's those kind of thing. Once you attend the sessions more frequently, then you will be able to understand what's the wrong in it, in doing frequently those things. Like watching a movie is not a sin, but if you are watching a movie before the day of exam just to get relief of the exam pressure, then you are not in a good place. That's the thing. So there you have to keep your mind calm, and you are not in offline mode. Maybe in offline mode you will be able to see, you would be able to see that many of your friends are not able to perform well in the academics or studies just only because they are not able to focus or concentrate. Now you may tell that the academics doesn't mean all, like academics, a single paper doesn't decide the future. Yeah, that doesn't decide, but the way you learn, the way uh, you have performed, you have dedicated, the way you have given your dedication, that decides. So because if you give your utmost dedication, then maybe you may not be able to top, but you will never fail in life. You will be surely in the top region, but may not be top of the top, that you may not get the first rank in the class. uh, Obviously as seniors we want that you do excel in life, but it doesn't mean that you always do means you have to be first in that. But no, if you excel in the process of improving yourself, then you will be definitely be at the top position, or top region. So it's like not focusing on the goal like that. So it's only target to improve yourself. We are here so that you are. I will be out of this institution. This pass. I will be a pass out after a few months, and after that, you will be the members of it. And so, it's your duty to improve yourself and also to improve the others, so that most of the students don't go in other wrong track or wrong direction. Because I can feel that the reason for most of the failures are only because they are not able to handle themselves in their critical situations. And to handle it, this books plays a great role. This personality development, this book helped me to stay motivated in the pandemic time 2020. This book, uh, I read this book before my gate examination, and it
Why are you
motivated
name
me.
the book?
What's the name of the book?
Yes, sir.
What are you asking?
Link दे दो Amazon.
Excuse
What's the
me,
name of the
भैया. Name of
Yes.
book which you.
This is Personality Development by Swami Vivekananda. Okay. And this is the struggle for freedom. This is also Swamiji's some writings are there. The struggle for freedom. This I bought from Ramakrishna Mott nearer to my house. This is in Bengali. Swamiji's some photos and his uh, messages. So this also I read. I was going to give the gate examination, and in the cab, in my bag, it was my admit card, bottle, pen, pencil, and these books were there. So I was reading like that. So you also know that may have heard the name of, what was the name? Arunima Singh, I think, if I am not wrong, the lame person who, lame woman who reached to the top of the Everest. So she was pulled out of the train, and she lost either one leg or two legs. I don't right now exactly remember, but she lost his one or two legs. Minimum one leg she lost. Now what happened that she explained somewhere that when I was in the trekking to reach the top of the Everest with her artificial legs, she had those books of Swami Vivekananda with her. Like also many one motivated from this person, from Netaji to Gandhiji, many one. So now you think that from in front of you, it's a great chance for you to excel yourself.
Excuse me, bhaiya.
Okay.
Good evening,
Yeah,
bhaiya.
please. Yeah. Tell. I'm listening.
Excuse me, good evening, भैया.
Yes,
भैया.
sorry.
भैया हम लोग का क्लास चल रहा था तो 6:45 में हम लोग का क्लास में छुट्टी हुआ तो मैं अभी ज्वाइन किया हूँ. सॉरी भैया. तो इसका मीट चल रहा है.
Okay, so are you in the group VYC freshers group? Are you included there?
भैया एक मिनट रुकते हैं. और जो फ्रेशर्स में जो हैं तो जो यहाँ पे कंटिन्यू रहे हैं वो बताएंगे कि क्या हुआ है.
हाँ, वो तो बताएंगे.
हाँ, तो वो एक बार उनसे पूछते हैं कि क्या वो समझे हैं कुछ. तो वो उनका एक दोस्त आया है तो वो बताइए क्या हुआ है अभी तक. कोई जो
तो पूछ ही लेंगे. अंकित को ये बता रहे कि नेक्स्ट का जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन जाएगा तुम्हारे पास चले जाएगा, ग्रुप में चला जाएगा अगर ग्रुप में हो तो. ठीक है. तो अभी तक जितना हुआ तो उसका कोई बता दो एक्सेप्ट प्रतीक को लास्ट में देखेंगे.
भैया मैं बता दूं
अभी शुभम, अजीत और कौन कौन है? अजय, उदयन, शौमिक, नवनीता, वैभव, जयंत.
मैं स्वामी जी का मैंने सिर्फ 1 मिनट के करीब सुना हो.
भैया मैं बता दूं
नहीं बता
क्या चल रहा था. हाँ लोगों को बाकी से सुन लेते हैं.
हाँ तो ये VYC क्लब है, एक यूथ क्लब है जिसमें कि स्वामी जी आते हैं. स्वामी विवेकानंद के बारे में हम लोग बताते हैं यहाँ पे और उनको उनके बारे में बताते हैं. तो आज उसी का ये था, मतलब लेक्चर था. बाहर से स्वामी जी आए थे, वो लेक्चर हुआ और हम लोग का इंट्रोडक्शन वीडियो हो रहा है अभी. मतलब इंट्रोडक्शन ले रहे हैं भैया लोग कि कौन कौन है, कहाँ से आया, तुम लोग को कैसे मालूम चला ग्रुप के बारे में, ऑल दैट. और इससे बहुत बेनिफिट भी होगा तुमको. तुम्हारा मतलब सेल्फ इम्प्रूवमेंट होगा, तुम अपने ऊपर ये कर पाओगे. मतलब तुम्हारा सेल्फ ग्रोथ होगा, बॉडी ग्रोथ होगा, मेंटल ग्रोथ होगा.
Okay, to join the weekly sessions and the next sessions, about that you will be informed in the group. Okay, so please be there in the group. If you are not in the group, then tell here. Me, Pratik are there to add you. Understood, Ankit?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
भैया तो लिंक ये लोग को दे दीजिए. ये लोग भी मतलब जिनको ज्वाइन होना होगा वो ज्वाइन हो जाएंगे.
अभी मेरा
पर्सनली एक करके कितना ऐड कीजिएगा. तो यहाँ पे जितने लोग हैं चैट बॉक्स में लिंक दे दीजिए या फिर मेल आईडी पे भी लोग भेज सकते हैं आप.
भैया
नहीं, मेल आईडी भी लिंक दे दूंगा. हाँ,
आप ना ये ग्रुप का अगर इनवाइट लिंक जो है ग्रुप डिस्क्रिप्शन के साथ ऐड कर दे तो हम जो है हमारा जो क्लास का ग्रुप है वहाँ पर डाल दे सकते. जो इंटरेस्टेड है वो चले आएंगे. फिर
बहुत सारे बच्चे आएंगे भैया जिनको इंटरेस्ट है वो.
ओके. प्रतीक ने इधर डाल दिया क्या? अच्छा प्रतीक हमें एखाने दे दीजिए.
चैट बॉक्स बंद है वैसे.
अच्छा हाँ, चैट बॉक्स बंद है. तो अच्छा ग्रुप डिस्क्रिप्शन में भेज रहा हूँ. ग्रुप डिस्क्रिप्शन में जो है वो VYC का सभी सोशल साइट का लिंक्स है, ठीक है। ग्रुप ज्वाइन करने के बाद तुम लोगों को मिलेगा, देखने को मिलेगा। तो इधर मैं कॉपी करके एक बार डाल देता हूँ। तो ग्रुप ज्वाइन करने के बाद
मैं चैट बॉक्स खोल सकते हैं, कॉपी करना है लिंक।
ओके, डन। सो इधर से तुम लोगों का VYC का वेबसाइट जो होता है अपलोड, उसमें अपडेट होता है। फेसबुक पेज में तुम लोग सारे उसको फॉलो लाइक कर देना, वहाँ पे सारे होता है। वीकली हम अपलोड करते हैं स्वामी जी का मैसेजेस बानी। यूट्यूब चैनल पे तो होता ही है, जैसे ये भी स्ट्रीमिंग अभी चल रहा है, अभी भी चल रहा है क्या कार्तिक?
हाँ भैया,
अभी भी स्ट्रीमिंग चल रहा है।
yeah, because we also need to record now that how the junior interaction is going on.
ठीक है, कोई बात
Should I stop it? Should I stop it?
ओके, एंड
I will stop it now. I will stop it now.
ओके, वेबसाइट, फेसबुक पेज, यूट्यूब चैनल, हाँ, और भी एक है लिंक